Would you like to learn what cryptocurrency has the highest chance of 100 to potentially 300x in this market? Also, what is the short-term prognosis for Bitcoin, the crypto market, and Terra Luna during this short-term period? Now, if you're excited to learn about what we're going to be talking about, then do a Johnny Depp, grab yourself a mega pint or a large glass of wine, smash that like button, hit the notification, put it on all so you make sure that you get all of my videos, and subscribe and join 112,000 fantastic people who are part of Team Suppo. So, we got a lot to cover in today's live stream, so let me just make sure that I am showing up as being live. Yes, I am. A lot to cover. And I sound fine-ish. So let me just share this over to the people of Twitter so that people can join. If you haven't become one of my Twitter followers, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Michael Suppo. Yeah, there we are. Right, okay. So, market is looking relatively healthy today. We are seeing Bitcoin over 30k, Ethereum over 2,100, Binance over $300. Does this mean that we are bouncing? Does this mean we are out of the danger zone? Have we hit a bottom? Have we had a black swan event, aka the Terra Luna dump of Bitcoin and Terra Luna dump, and this is now a market geared for recovery? So, I am one of the most bullish people in crypto. If you didn't already know the Suppoman, I've been around 5 years. I have been making YouTube videos. I'm one of the original crypto YouTubers. So you should know firsthand, I am very, very bullish about the long-term prognosis of the cryptocurrency market. Now, at this present time, we are in a state of 8 for fear. That means, 0 is like basically sell it all. Crypto's never coming back, crypto's dead. It's mass hysteria. And we are on 8. To be in extreme fear, you need to be in less than 25. And we are miles below 25. We are amongst one of the most fearful times we have ever seen in crypto. To be honest, the kind of support for, if you were to chart a support line across the most bearish of times in crypto, then you will see that 10 is the lowest. So when we are underneath double-digit figures, that is a time to panic, essentially. And so that is what's happening right now. People are panicking. And when people are panicking, people are selling. And yet, it doesn't look like it's reflected at all in the market. So where could this possibly be coming from? Now, I did a poll earlier. Where do you think crypto is going to go for 2022? And it seems to be a quite close run thing. So let me just refresh this. So nearly 30% believe there's going to be one last bull run. So almost equal to how many people think it's just going to be bearish for the next 2 years, essentially till the next halving event where Bitcoin halves their block rewards. So when you mine Bitcoin, it's basically half the rewards of what it is now. Whenever that happens, it kicks off a bull run. So people are believing that 2024 is going to be the beginning of the next bull run in the majority. But also there are people, it's kind of 50-50 at the moment. So, let me give you some evidence. You may have seen it in the last episode, but I'm going to give you some more evidence. So, there is an indicator called the 3-day death cross. Okay, so this is charting closes over 3 days. And it is using the moving average of the 50 and 200. Okay, now, the 3-day death cross is rarely occurred in cryptocurrency. Okay, so I'm charting this on the Brave New Coin Index because this is where you see the largest kind of history of Bitcoin, the farthest back history of Bitcoin. And yeah, basically the death cross occurs when the 50-day goes below the 200-day. And when that tends to happen, the market crashes. Okay, so let me just go back to when it last happened. So the first time it happened was in December 2014. And this was right in the midst of the bear market of 2014. So what happened is that once it crossed, bang! So there was already a drop. So we can see that the all-time high was 1100. There was a massive drop, similar to what happened between November and now. So 70k was what was achieved in Bitcoin. Then it went down to 33k. It recovered, and now we are down to 25k, or have gone down. So we had that initial, it went to 33k, let's say. And that was what happened here. So it went down to 34,000. So if you extrapolate this, it's essentially like being 34,000. Then there was a recovery. Okay, and then there was like a slow bleed. Then we had the death cross, and then bang! The price went from around about 478, having recovered, down to 164 after this death cross. A golden cross is when the opposite occurs, and when the opposite occurs, typically the market goes up. So when was the next time this death cross happened? Well, it happened pretty much exactly at the time that during the 2018 bear market that Bitcoin went from $6,000, and this is having come down from $20,000. So 20 to 6, death cross hits 3. Okay, $3,100. And that was the last time that the death cross, 3-day death cross hit. Now it has just hit. So what does that mean? Well, essentially, these are the two support areas Bitcoin has been testing. So it tested the 40k zone, and it has, over the numerous times over the last year, tested the 30k zone. But the market structure gets broken under 30k. So if 30k does get breached, the main support level of 30k does get breached after this death cross, it could be a fall down to 20k. Could be. This is why I'm not buying it, and this is why, although, people are saying, are you going to buy NEAR at these prices, or Moonbeam, or Moonriver, or any of the other layer 1 blockchains I'm really bullish on and wanting to accumulate, are you buying them at current prices? No! And the reason why is because I am expecting for further bloodshed. Alright, now, it could be the case that this happens in the not too distant future. So like I said, Bitcoin at this present time is over 30k. So it almost would happen to an unsuspecting market for it to just shoot down to 20k. But I do believe if it breaks the 30k, and the death cross is a very, very strong indicator of bloodshed, then this could open up better buy opportunities. Now, should it achieve this bloodshed? So this is another graph I showed you in the last video, and this is the 21 monthly moving average. Okay, so similar to what I just showed you with Bitcoin has very, very rarely gone underneath the 21 moving average. Okay, and when it has, it's typically signaled pretty disastrous results. So when it happened in 2014, which I can't show you on this because I'm charting on OKCoin and not Brave New Index, whatever. Happened in 2014, we were in red in a bear market for 14 months before the Bitcoin price recovered and went over the 21 EMA. Then we had 2018. And similarly, once it went under, it was under for about 6 months before it went back over. Then the last time when we had a flash crash during the COVID crash, we had a Black Swan event, very similar to what's happened with Terra Luna. Black Swan event that essentially took the price once again down below this 21 monthly moving average. Okay, and that was very, very short pace. So 13 months to 6 months to 1 day, well, sure, 1 month. Now we have gone under again for the first time since that COVID crash. Now, if I just show you the extent by which the Bitcoin price went underneath this 21 moving average, it went under 45%. Okay, 45% it went underneath the 21 moving average. Now let's have a look and see where we are now. Let me do that again. Starting from up here to down 35%, so 10% less. So given that, and given the Black Swan last time was very devastating, it could be the case that should this death cross actualize, that we do achieve about 45, if not more, % loss from going underneath that 21 monthly moving average. So what I'm saying, I guess, is that Bitcoin is showing very weak signs at the moment. So let's have a look at let me show you a couple of other things. So on the plus side, so let's not all be doom and gloom. On the plus side, similar to what happened in the COVID crash, is that this graph here, which is essentially the Bitcoin balance on exchanges. So how much Bitcoin is on exchanges versus cold storage. And when the number decreases, it means that people are taking Bitcoin off of exchanges and putting them into cold storage, meaning they want to hodl it. Now, during the COVID crash, it was a massive uptick, okay, but it was very, very temporary. And then it was almost right back down to taking it off exchanges. So it went on exchanges, possibly to sell or because people panicked. Then it got taken off of exchanges almost straight away. And save for last year's little bearish trend that we had, we have been consistently going down. Now, what I will say is that this, what looks like a steep up down, is very much replicated what's going on right now. A steep up and a steep down. At this present time, we haven't completely recovered to where we were at 12.87% of Bitcoin on exchanges. We haven't got right back down to that, but we have gone from 12.8 to 13.4 back to 13.1. So in a roundabout way, hodlers are getting optimistic about Bitcoin. Now, what I wanted to say is that this chart here, which is a stablecoin supply ratio oscillator, right? I'm not going to delve too much into it, but essentially it's where do you get the best bang for your buck with stablecoins if you were to go from stablecoin into Bitcoin at that point. And typically what you're looking for is you are looking for the Bitcoin, or should I say this line here, which is the oscillator line, to go to between 2 and minus 2 and minus 3. When you go to minus 2 or minus 3, you tend to be in a very good position if a bounce back occurs, and you're not in a bad position should it go down any further. So it's very, very negligible. So if you had bought at this point here in 2008 at the 2 mark, then that would be roughly 3,800. If you had got out right down at the minus 3 mark, that would have been 3,400. So not a big deal compared to Bitcoin subsequently going to all-time highs after this. Similarly down here. So this was the COVID crash. Again, this was a mega crash, something that you very, very rarely see. And this hit a minus 4. So if you can hit a minus 4, even better time to get into Bitcoin. So essentially, between minus 2, minus 3, 4's never happened. It's only happened once. And when it did happen, that really was the perfect time because you got in at about 4,800 and you saw Bitcoin all the way through to 70,000 last year. Now, currently where we are is we are at 1.3. So we are nowhere near. So as far as waiting for Bitcoin to have some form of bottom, I would wait between 2 and 3, minus 2 and 3, and then get into altcoins at that point as well, because Bitcoin is likely to have a reversal from that point and therefore take altcoins with it. So, new information has come to light. Why did Bitcoin go down and crash so heavily? Well, one of the reasons is seen as this. So, Luna, the guys behind Luna, obviously they bought a load of Bitcoin. Duquan bought a load of Bitcoin, essentially to stabilize the peg of UST. He then has sold 80,000 Bitcoins in a 3-day span. And of course, we experienced those 3 days. It was a crisis. There was extreme panic, extreme bearishness, a massive fall, a lot of panic. And this is the reason why. So, that explains where we are at. Now, we are in a recession, or at the beginnings of a recession. So that could further compound the bearishness that could bring Bitcoin down a little bit further. Now, what is the situation with Terra at the moment, or Terra USD? Well, it is so far below the peg, it's become ridiculous. It's 10x off of the peg at this present time. So what else is potentially bearish that could, because at the moment, if we have a look at the price, it's looking very, very good for Bitcoin. Okay, it's gone down $400, which is negligible nowadays. So what else could cause fear? Well, this could cause fear. So this is the stablecoin market. Now, stablecoin should be at $1. All right, now we had the depegging of Terra USD. In the last 24 hours, we have the depegging of DAY. Okay, so DAY is related to the Juice Finance ecosystem. This is massively depegged, 58 cents. And it was $1 a few days ago. So a big threat is stablecoins. We saw during the panic last week, we saw that Tether went down to, I think it was about 89 cents or something, 92 cents or something like that. And people were beginning to worry that Tether was next. And so the safest places look to be USD and Binance USD, USDC or Binance USD. Now Tether has since gone back to where it was. I fear that if there was a depegging of Tether, which would be catastrophic, there's always been Tether FUD at the forefront of every bear crash. And this could be part of the next bear crash again. So anyway, yeah, so that is something that is on the negative side of Bitcoin. Something that's on the positive side is this. So today, Grayscale, the big entities that have been offering Bitcoin, one of the big financial entities that have been offering Bitcoin products, has launched a European ETF urging the SEC to approve a spot ETF in the US. A spot ETF in the US could actually lead to a bull run of astronomical proportions. And it could happen this year. So basically, a European ETF is like almost paving the way for like almost a prelude to a US ETF. And then that could be the sign that actually brings the market up before the end of the year. And then the end of the year, we start going through a recession, and then people start to short Bitcoin via ETFs, and then the market goes down. That's what I think could happen. Now, before I go on to the 100x, potentially 1000x, all depends on the market it's released into. What is the state of play with Luna? So Luna at this present time is at 0.00019. Okay, so it's gone down about 3x from 3 days ago. Okay, so the other day it had a mega pump to 0.0006, and it has now lost 2/3 of that. Why? Well, one of the reasons, as I spoke to you about before, was because Terra was looking to revive the Terra ecosystem by bringing out a new Terra coin, a new Luna coin. Okay, Luna version 2. Or as it's been discussed in the last 24 hours, a new Luna coin, and the current Luna coin is then becomes Luna Classic. So like with what happened with Ethereum in 2015, where it got hacked and they had to roll back the chain, and then they created Ethereum, and then that was Ethereum Classic, and then they created the kind of newer version, which was Ethereum. This is what they're looking to do, essentially, with Terra ecosystem. Now, Terra has burnt so many people that I imagine that there's not going to be many people to trust a new Luna version. Okay, now, so that is the revival plan 2. And essentially how it would be broken down is that it would be like in the previous revival plan, is that it would be given to developers and it would be given to people pre-attack. Okay, so 35% given to people pre-attack, 10% at the launch snapshot. Okay, so very small percentage going out to those who actually invested in Luna post the attack. All right. Now, this was coming with some conditions. So essentially, if you had bonded or unbonded Luna and you had more than 1 million Luna, you would be subject to a 1-year cliff and 2-year vesting, or under 1 million Luna, which I imagine would be the majority of people that were burnt by Luna, would be a 1-year cliff and 4-year vesting. So essentially forcing them to hodl this over a massive period. So as you can imagine, the feedback on this was very negative. No one wants a fork. No one wants a fork, yada, 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 right? So it was basically met with a lot of no's, okay? So, Revival Plan version 2, 91% no out of 3,281 votes. So now what's happening is that there is calls for Terra to just burn the supply that's out there. Obviously, there's billions of supply out there. So the community are calling for Luna to burn these tokens. As a result of that, Terra Luna has not died in terms of speculation. You know, it has gone down quite a lot over the last couple of days as more talks of a new Luna token, thus rendering the current Luna token worthless. As those talks have developed over time, And now we are getting to a point where possibly they are not going to create a Luna Classic and a new Luna token. And actually, because the community is so against it, and G1 probably doesn't want to piss everybody off even more, is that it may keep the current Terra coin and burn the supply and try and recover it. Okay? In which case, it's fueling speculation. People are looking to get into it. I am not going to give an answer either way. Now, what is the next cryptocurrency that could be a huge powerhouse in this bearish trend or market, whichever one that we happen to be in? So you will be no doubt, in absolutely no doubt whatsoever about the existence of Steppen. Steppen has introduced Move to Earn. Essentially, you earn cryptocurrency by moving. Now with Steppen, what you do is you download the app. You then buy trainers, and it's started off on the Solana blockchain. So you use Solana to buy these trainers that suited the activity you are likely to do. I, as you can imagine, am not a runner nor a jogger. So I got walking trainers, and I was earning $20, $30 a day. All right, so this is a revolutionary trend, almost a mega trend. And this kicked off the creation of a load of Move to Earn cryptocurrencies and a Move to Earn ecosystem, which has not yet died. Now, despite looking at this, this table of Move to Earn, this is one of my playlists one of my watch lists that I've created. So you can see that Steppen is still very much alive. Okay, Steppen is still very much in the public eye, and just like in October, November, when there was a metaverse season, you had Decentraland and you had Sandbox doing incredibly well. Steppen is the one leading the way. It's almost the Bitcoin of Move to Earn. If this is doing well, it's keeping alive the trend. So I'm going to be talking to you today about moves. Okay, moves. So let us start. So moves is going to be the next cryptocurrency I think has a fighting chance of making gains, while everything else kind of moving sideways, goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit. If Bitcoin goes majorly down, if you buy today, you're going to get rinsed. Okay, so moves seems to be one of the best opportunities to make gains in this market. So moves comes out in 7 days. It comes out next week. I'm going to explain to you exactly how you get involved in moves. So moves is a multifaceted Move to Earn platform and NFT marketplace. What you do, like with Steppen, is you buy your NFT sneaker, and you can use that sneaker to do activities and earn, essentially. You're also going to be able to lend it. So let's say you've got a sneaker that you already use. One of your family members or a friend really wants to get into cryptocurrency, or really likes that you're doing it, and they're like, oh, any chance you could lend me a trainer? And then you can lend them the trainer, and they can earn, and you can earn from lending it out and probably getting a share of whatever they earn. So essentially you get these NFTs and you can buy and lend it. You also can stake the Moves token in order to generate more revenue. So it's multifaceted and multi-earn. So it's part of the Move to Earn genre. What you can do is, other than just walk, jog and run, you can swim, cycle, row, lift, surf, box, anything that requires movement, and particularly aggressive movement or assertive movement, can earn for you. All right. So currently, at this present time, Steppen is only running, walking, jogging. Okay, but moves moves has the potential to become even easier to earn money. And then there will be these boost zones based on your geographical area, almost like geographical incentives to take part in activity. Okay, and these boost zones will increase your earning potential. So moves is going to be the main in-app currency. Currency you can buy NFTs with, and the currency that you earn by actually moving. Then Burns is going to be the governance token. I think this will form part of the deflationary element. Okay, so burning the actual tokens over time. It's going to be on Binance Smart Chain. So like Solana, it's going to be very, very quick. What I've loved about using Steppen on Solana is it's very, very quick. You've got essentially an in-app DEX on the Steppen app. right? And because it's on Solana, it's very, very quick, it's very, very seamless, very, very low fee, if not no fee at all. And so on Binance Smart Chain, it's got very much the same kind of, I suppose, benefits. It's going to have an app, which you have on your phone. It's going to have, obviously, a platform, like a dashboard, as it were. So it shows you your progress over time. Really quite fantastic, I think. And a real build upon what Steppen has created. And then, obviously, an NFT marketplace, which over time could boast all sorts of NFTs. It may not literally be a sneaker. It may be a dumbbell or boxing gloves or, I don't know, a swimming hat. I don't know. Could be anything. But either way, I think it's going to expand upon Steppen. Now, the fantastic thing about this is the market cap, the size of the opportunity. This is going to open out at 55k. 55k! The lowest market cap I've seen in a year. Okay? Now, at 55k, for this to get to the likes of Steppen, which I'm not saying it will, although over time, if this implements the strategy, if it implements the vision, and over time creates something that's actually a powerhouse, the standout app that comes out of a Bluezilla incubator, this could equal Steppen's price now as Steppen moves further into the distance. So to equal Steppen where it is right now, having come down kind of 3x, would be a 16,000x. 16,000x. And you know who these guys are because, yeah, unlike with other entities that have released Callow and all this kind of thing, you don't know who they are. But with Bluezilla behind Moose, you know who is behind this. And you know how aggressively they market and the marketing consortium and everything. So with that, there's this kind of extra layer of it's kind of a proven entity behind it. Then FitFi, for it to get where FitFi is, and again, FitFi has come down dramatically from achieving its highs from a couple of weeks ago, would be a 1327x. So obviously you've got Bluezilla behind it that's going to help promote it, market it, make sure it comes out and doesn't, encourages people to buy and hold, etc. So 55k has got an incredible market cap worth speculating on. So how do you buy it? Well, there is a kind of whitelisting competition that you can get into this without being part of a launchpad, but the main way is via launchpad. So how to do it, how to buy it, is via the 4 listed launchpads at the moment. So these are BSC Pad, which is the oldest, GameZone and MetaV Pad, which are kind of gaming metaverse related, and then Polypad. All right, so these are the 4 platforms by which you can get moves. So if we have a look today and see how kind of Bluezilla are doing, then despite the market, which is on the whole pretty red, save for some little bits of green, then we can see that Bluezilla launchpads are on the up. Funnily enough, TronPad is the biggest. But anyway, yeah. So they are on the up. And Polypad's gone up the most, then MetaV Pad. Alright, so this could be following the, I suppose, people wanting to get in on moves. Alright, so there we are. There we are, people. What do you think? Let me know in the comments right now. Yes or no, yes or no. Are you interested in moves? I'm going to check that out. Bear with me, because I am aware that I haven't actually spoken to you guys as of yet. So let me know in the comments. Blue Diamond 500k entry, now 30k go entry price. Yeah, Blue Diamond was very expensive one upon a time. I got it. I got it and then I sold it, if I'm honest with you. I'm like in a platinum now, I think. I got out of it. Yes. Yes, yes. No, no, no. It's kind of 50-50. And I think this is an indication actually of this sentiment right here. I don't think people are necessarily feeling that great. Bluezilla, any Bluezilla project was absolutely killing it in the bull market. But as it's a bear trend stroke bear market potentially, and people are at this present time probably looking to get out of it. But I think this has got really good potential personally. Right, let me have a look and see who's into else. So we've got Patrick, Sando, Thomas, Craig, Caesar, Sohail, Britcoin, Tiffany, Franco, John Cigar, Lindsay, Miguel, Roy, Christian, Tim P, Tommy. Altcoin facts. Good to see you guys. Nils, Travis, Levon, Mizwa. Great to see you people. I love it. I love it. Good to see you all attending. You know, because at this very present time, it is kind of, you know, it's at this present time, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of ghost town at the moment. So, NH, hey Suppo, thoughts on trying to get into 10 set? Well, I got into 10 set before Everdome. Again, launchpads are very, very, very bullish during a bull market. When it's a bear market, it's diminishing returns. So, you know, it's a good time to potentially get into 10 set. I haven't had a look at the 10 set price. Last time I saw it was about $3 something, $4 maybe, and that's down to $2.50. So, yeah, it might be a good time to get a subscription if you can, because I'm sure after Meta Hero, Everdome, Fame MMA, they're going to build more really good tokens, and of course everybody's locked for a year. If you ever have time, can you check out Paradox Metaverse project? Thanks for everything you do for us. No, thank you very much, Sebas. What is that? Paradox? It's not there. It's not there. I will. I'll give it a check. So, what are your thoughts on V-Launch? Again, very, very similar. You know, V-Launch actually do release really fantastic or have traditionally launched some good projects, and obviously they've got all of crypto YouTube essentially as their marketing consortium. So, you know, I think it's good they are building in a bearish trend, and we'll have to see how it goes. But they are certainly amongst the strongest. Lizzie Gunn, the scarf, Suppoman, keep the Suppoman shows going. They are very much appreciated. Please do your famous like spike reminder. Entertainment on another level, and your streams deserve the button to be smashed. That is right. Be Will Smith. I am not a fan of Will Smith, but on this occasion I will allow it. Be Will Smith. Quite literally, open up my stream right in front of your eyes. You've got it already, so I don't need to remind you. And just smash that button there. I would be very appreciative. And thank you very much, Lindsay. And this is my Pulse Chain scarf, which if you have been watching on Twitter today, hold on, let me get a profile. You will see this. This is the famous scarf right here, the famous Pulse Chain scarf. Anyway, let me go back to this and let me continue to look. But thank you very much for the contribution as well, Lindsay. I appreciate that. That I think is it actually for super chat. So let me have a look and see if there are any other questions worth attention at this point. So how about Pulse X? Yes, you know, Pulse X, you obviously can't get in at this point. Pulse X and Pulse Chain are both, you know, sacrifices over. Pulse Chain is going to be coming out very, very soon. It's going to be coming out probably in the next couple of weeks. There are some fixes that need to happen, some that can happen prior to mainnet and some that can happen post mainnet. So depending on when those can get fixed, we are going to be seeing Pulse Chain coming out soon. In addition, we're going to be seeing Pulse X. They are both going to feed off each other. They're both going to moon each other, essentially. The opening price could be the lowest price. The opening price of Pulse is going to be 0. Okay, it's going to be 0. And dependent on how it's minted, because... Let me have a look. You know, with Pulse Chain, there was like billions. There was billions sacrificed. I think it was 20 billion or something, which would actually transpose into trillions that are minted. Now, Richard was actually like provided 90% of the liquidity there, so or the sacrifice there. As a result of that, he may not actually mint his coins. I don't know. I don't know if the initial circulating supply, because he did say to me in his interview that his initial circulating supplies he likes to keep very low. So if the circulating supply is going to be in the trillions, that's not very low, is it? Therefore, keeping the market cap quite high. And, you know, if it makes a 10x, essentially it'll be the same price as Ethereum. So I don't know if he's going to mint his tokens. If he doesn't mint his tokens, then it could have a low circulating supply, therefore a lowish market cap. and it could give way for very good price appreciation, but we'll have to wait and see. But it will be the birth of the Pulse Chain ecosystem. And, you know, Hex came out during the bear market. You know, Hex came out in end of 2019. And, yeah, end of 2019. And there were 4 zeros, 0.1. And it's gone up it's gone up, you know, 1000x. At its best, it's gone up like 7,000x. Okay, so when it comes out, you know, Pulse Chain could essentially have this exact graph. Okay, so you buy it at its lowest, you buy it at its most inflationary, because it will be when everything has minted and everything is out there. As it becomes deflationary over time, because they burn Pulse Chain on the DEX. So when you are using the DEX, you are essentially burning Pulse Chain. And it's used as gas, so essentially you're burning it every time you use the blockchain. Then as it deflates over time, we could be seeing this. So I don't necessarily see it having a fantastic start. So therefore, that could be a really good, based on where we are in the market, could be a really good time to accumulate it. What do you think about Terra Luna? It's pure speculation at this point. Please tell us about Hero. Is it worth to buy more? Hero, I don't own any Hero. I wouldn't know. I would not know. Can you check out Anchor Protocol? I haven't actually checked Anchor Protocol since all this debacle happened. So let's have a look. 45 million market cap. Where was it? Jeez. Oh, that was last year anyway. Let's have a look. Where was it? Oh, literally 2 months ago, it was like $5.91 down to 13 cents. You know, look, as far as I'm concerned, you know, people are calling for Luna to ditch Terra USD. All right, UST. They're looking for Luna to ditch that and be able. It's basically like cutting out the cancer, as it were. You get rid of the cancer, and then you're in remission. So that is essentially what I think the community want, and they want for, you know, them to get rid of to just get rid of that, and as a result of that, Anchor Protocol will most definitely die. All right, so Anchor Protocol and the other one, UST, just wouldn't touch them. Luna, I obviously still have money. You saw that I invested in Luna. You know, the speculation is very, very rife with that one. So over the, you know, you never know what could happen over the long. You never know what could happen over the long term. I have no idea what they're going to do, and it's a pure guesswork. You just buy in at the bottom, which I obviously did. Buy in at the bottom, and you just wait. And if it comes to fruition, fantastic. If it doesn't, I've lost $100. Big whoop. Not a big deal. So yeah, so I'm in there for speculation. Would I, as a fresh investor, go invest in Terra? No, it's pure speculation. It's a shitty trade. Hey Super, will you be holding your Pulse and PulseX for years? And do you think Richard will have some sort of vesting for both projects to help price? Yes, I do. So I am going to be holding my Pulse Chain and PulseX for years, potentially. Depends on what happens at launch date. Like, if there was to be some crazy thing happen, where there's a huge launch, there's huge hype, it so happens to 100x, and I probably will sell. Some anyway. You know, I have 100 million tokens, right? So, yeah, if it should go to $1, which I don't think is going to happen. If it even goes to 10 cents, that's $10 million. That's how much it would be. So yeah, I would sell it all at that point. But I don't think it's going to do that. But if it did do that, I'd probably sell it. But otherwise, as the deflationary model kicks in and allows the price to appreciate, then I think the longer you're able to hold out on Pulse Chain and PulseX, the better. So yeah, so I am going to be. I'm very likely to be holding it for years, on the assumption that it doesn't have an incredible start. Milan, thank you very much for the HRK. Hey, Super, still bullish on Pond. Oh, hold on. Always kicks off Siri when I say hey, Suppo. Bear with me. Right, there we are, gone. Still bullish on Pond. I've not spoken to Siddhartha, so I'm not really that bullish on Pond at the moment. But I mean, it's an infrastructure project, so, you know, by rights, should do quite well. Oh, let's have a look at that. That's a good shout, Ahmed. UFO, because I didn't buy UFO from the last, come down. So let me just find thingy-majiggy. UFO. I think it's pretty safe to say that the metaverse season has died. The time when you could literally launch a project, it's just metaverse, it will do 100x, it's gone. Now will be the time where the fundamentally sound projects will do well. And UFO is probably one of them. And this has gone down so drastically. And I never did buy in. And hold on. So I think I remember I was going to go into a 00006 9, and now it's a third of the price that I was looking to buy in on this. But like I said, look, that's 16% up, so it's showing the strong fundamental ones have got good potential. Another one that I've actually added, and somebody did ask me about this the other day, is Cadena. And the reason why I've added Cadena is because they have got CADEX coming out soon, which is going to be their decentralized exchange. They're building out the ecosystem. It's on a dip at the moment. It was 332 at its highest, 284 at its lowest. I would wait for this to go down to about $1 or something. But that would be another one I would probably scalp, because it's quite clearly got whale volume. All right, so if I go back and have a look at my watch lists, it's got the second biggest volume. Okay, double Mina is basically Mina and Moonbeam put together comprise Cadena. So clearly it's got very high institutional interest, and it's 20x away from being a large cap. So is it 20x? Yeah, 20x away from being a large cap. So there's potential, but I wouldn't get into it for a while. I'll take a couple more questions if there are no more super chats. Let me just have a look. How to buy PLS token? It'll probably be on it'll probably be initially on Uniswap, because it's essentially an Ethereum fork, but it will then be available on PulseX as the DEX for Pulse, for the Pulse chain ecosystem. And PulseX is essentially going to be like Uniswap. Doesn't appear to be any other questions. So anyway, okay. So anyway, yeah. So I'll leave it at that. So essentially, it looks like it could be bearish eventually. Okay. So I think we are going to be waiting for. I mean, the 3-day death cross has happened now. Okay, the 3-day death cross has happened, and pretty much the day after Bitcoin was at 31.3. So it could be the case as a slight delayed reaction, but every time this has happened, so if I just chart this one back, every time this has happened, so it happened here, and the price was sideways at this point, then it happened. Let me just zoom in as much as I can. Yeah, the death cross happened, and then boom, the next days, because this is basically a 3-day thing, so it happened there, and then 3 days later this, then another 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. Essentially, what is this? So since it hit, it was 10 bars, 10 times 3, 30 days. So 30 days from it hitting to hitting a bottom. All right, so that was the last time. That was in 2018, but that was in the midst of a bear market, right? So it may be slightly extenuating circumstances. But yeah, so it could be a delayed reaction, but then it could be a quite steep drop when that reaction actually hits. So yeah, could be quite dicey. So I'm seeing some YouTubers or influencers saying potential correction, potential reversal, up to the upside. Nothing would make me happier than that. However, yeah, we've got the 21 monthly moving average, and we have got the 3-day death cross. Essentially, both of these combining. If it was to reverse against that'd be pretty insane. It'd be pretty insane, considering the death cross literally has just hit, and we haven't seen the downside post hit. It would be miraculous for it to actually survive and thrive, having just hit that 3-day death cross. So we will see. But I dare say that this fear and greed could go down a little bit more. And let me just see, over the last maximum time, what is the lowest it ever was? Hold on. What was that? It won't let me, actually. But I would imagine that's about 5. It's not showing me, but I would imagine that's about 4 or 5. All right, so it could be taken down. It could be halved, right? We could see the halving quite literally happening. So anyway, yeah. So there we are, people. So I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I've loved you being here. And let me know if you want me to come regularly, on here that is, or more sparingly. But I thought it was very pertinent to bring you this information today, so you're not taken by surprise. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not nice to be taken by surprise. Anyway, people, I love you. You're awesome. I've been the Superman. You've been awesome. And I will see you next time. It is lights out, all out.